Firstly, I'd like to thank Denise for the opportunity to do the show. Ordinarily, I'd be in Dublin, but because I've damaged my knee, I'm not, hence why I'm filming in front of images of the paintings, not the actual paintings. So my apologies for that. However, I'm not a person who could actually paint in front of a crowd, because, I mean, people might find it alarming, but when I go into the studio, I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do. So it kind of evolves in a very slow process when I'm in the studio. So I don't think that would be good to watch for hours on end, me doing nothing in a gallery. Okay, so anyway, that's the way it is. The show is a great opportunity for me because it allowed me to produce 10 or 20 paintings in a solo exhibition, which I don't normally do, because mostly now I'm doing group shows. And it gave me the opportunity to work over a long period, to try and build some sort of synthesis in my work, which I've been planning to do and I've been working at for the past year. So I go back to paintings like this. So this is a typical Wiltshire English landscape that I produce. And this is one which is of the same place, but it's a bit looser. And what I wanted to do, I also produce lots of still life paintings. And this is a typical one from about 2 years ago. What I really wanted to do is combine the qualities in the spontaneous still life and the more structured landscape paintings. And that's what I've attempted to do in the show. So you should see in the flower paintings in the show that synthesis. So it's got the best of the colour and strength of colour and saturation of the colour and the strength of the pattern in here, and some of the spontaneity in the flower paintings. But it's much more structured than this spontaneous flower painting. This took a few hours and lacks detail. People like it, the painting sold, but it needs something more. And that combination of the two is what's worked out as the result of that synthesis. Okay. You know, in the process I've been trying to find a balance between abstracted pattern and colour and reference to realism and naturalism without slavishly copying. The painting for me has to become something else in the studio. It's not just about painting a scene. I can't see the point of that. You might as well go and take a photograph. It has to produce some new synthesis, which is the actual painting, which reminds people of the place but isn't a slavish copy of it. The result, I hope, is a strong body of work, which is up to the viewers to actually make a judgment on that, but I think it looks good. So I'm pleased with that. The small landscape paintings, which is an example here, are based on actual landscapes, not literally, as I said earlier, around Hacketstown, where my father's maternal grandmother was born, Hacketstown in North Carlow. His paternal family come from Cheshire in South Carlow, and around Hacketstown it's tiny fields, rolling hills, beautiful countryside, and very green. And I wanted to do justice to the greenness of that landscape without making it too obvious. Okay, so hopefully that's what people will see when they see that work. The other reason why it's important for me to be shown in the gallery is my mum's grandfather lived in the 1880s on South Frederick Street itself. The whole family were born in and around Liberties and moved to North Dublin in the 19th century. So they've been around there for about 300 years. So that place, Dublin, is important to me. I did manage to get my mum to Dublin before she died, which was good. But unfortunately, it was before I was with the Doorway Gallery. So she would have loved to have seen the show. So in a sense that she, it's dedicated to my mum basically. Hope that makes sense. Right, earlier I talked about a synthesis between this type of spontaneous still life painting and this more structured landscape painting, and wanting to take the colour and the saturation and the strong pattern out of this, but liven it up somewhat and take some of the spontaneity from that, but make it more structured. And in the exhibition you'll see a group of flower paintings, and this is an example of one of them, where I think I've built that synthesis up. And I hope you will enjoy the work. The influence in these paintings is very varied. It goes back to Cézanne and Van Gogh, Dayram, two slave painters who was where I studied, Ewan Uglow and Paul Nash, and also Degas, and two American painters, Larry Rivers and William de Kooning, who are huge influence on the work, though it might not be that obvious. There are contemporary artists in there, such as Bruce MacLean, Anna Hymas, Chloe Lamb, and the Doorway Gallery artist Alison Dixon, for example, whose work I really like, and the American painter Jonas Wood, who had a huge influence, was influenced very heavily by Japanese art, and I am in the same way. So my influences are very eclectic and broad, and bits of all of it have kind of come together in the paintings. Thank you.